Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Super Soldier Talk. I'm James Rink. It is September 20th, 2012, and I have Alex Diaz with me. And I put Alex under regressions in the past, and he has some very interesting experiences that he's recalled while under hypnotic regression, recalling different missions with reptilian extraterrestrial beings. Now, we sort of lost contact, I don't know, for maybe about 2 months or so, 3 months, kind of doing our different things. And Alex recently just contacted me, and he said that he was just picked up by his, I guess the cops picked him up, and he's on probation. Alex he's had a troubled past. Not a lot of us Milabs, we've gone through so much trauma that we deal with it in different ways. Some of us have problems with drugs. Some people have violence issue. Others have suffered from severe anxiety. Some others could even represent themselves as schizophrenic kind of symptoms. But, when you consider the amount of trauma and the experience that we've gone through, the fact that we're still alive is a testimony to the will of the human spirit. So I just want to thank you, Alex, for being willing to come forward and share your experiences. So, Alex, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, I think, first of all, let's talk a little bit about your past, because I know first of all, how old are you?
Well, right now I'm 21.
Okay.
I'm going to be 22 next year.
Okay, and Alex is from Los Angeles.
California.
Yeah. And I just want to mention that you have been in juvie when you were a teenager.
Yeah.
What exactly happened with that? Let's just go ahead and let the audience know so that there's no hidden agendas here. What happened?
Okay. When I was younger, I was caught with a weapon that wasn't mine, and they locked me up for like 3 years.
Okay. So you had some kind of illegal weapon, and I'm assuming it might be connected to some kind of gang-related activity.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
when you're young, you do some things,
Okay. Yeah, and all of us have our learning path and experiences.
Yeah.
So you've and you said that you use some kind of meditation technique to help get you out of that situation.
Yeah.
What could you describe that a little bit?
Well, my meditation, I just pray. I can tap into psychic gifts and stuff like that.
Do you feel comfortable sharing it with the audience?
Yeah, I feel comfortable. I just need you to be more specific, please.
Okay. But somehow you were able to alter your reality to help benefit yourself. But anyhow, okay, so you finally got out. And then, so you've been on probation. Is this for the same incident?
Yeah, for the same incident again.
Okay, and how many years have you been on probation?
I think it's I've been like almost 6 years already.
Okay, and is it supposed to come to an end shortly?
It's supposed to, but I don't think so because I keep on getting charges and like new cases, and my judge doesn't want to dismiss my case. I don't know why.
Okay. Well, we're gonna do some work to help you out with that. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit more about this incident. So you were out this parking lot by yourself. You said you weren't doing anything illegal, and the cop comes up to you, tells you to get out of your car, and then he mentions my name. Why don't you talk a little about that?
Well, he didn't mention your name. It was when I got to my probation officer after I got arrested and all that. It was time for me to see my PO. I went to go see him, and your name was brought up like in a file. When he was looking at the file, he was saying, "Oh, you were with James Rink, etc., and you guys had drugs and this and that," and it was false. You were never there.
Okay, well, of course.
And I don't know why they put your name in there.
Yeah, and I just like to put an affidavit down that I have not been in Los Angeles in I guess it's been about a year already. So I never even knew you when I was in Los Angeles. So,
Yeah.
I never met you in person actually either. So, that's obviously a false charge. Well, did you protest at all?
Yes, I told my probation that it wasn't true, that I don't even know who you were. But he just said, all right, just stay out of trouble, and he just told me to
Okay.
leave. I
Okay.
was surprised I wasn't even arrested.
Okay. Well, maybe they were just a little bit concerned because a lot, especially when you start talking about reptilians and mind control and the different types of experiences, the certain authorities, the gatekeepers. We're not talking about the powers that be, but the people that run the mental hospitals, the sheriff's office. I mean, they have to look out for their citizens, and as long as you're nonviolent, they're certainly welcome. You're certainly welcome to have a unique belief system. So, Alex, and by all means, please don't get yourself in trouble anymore with the law. Okay, just if you
I
have
know
any
I
more
try my
contact,
very best not to get in trouble, but it seems like trouble comes to me.
yeah, just make sure you use nonviolent approaches because we're about bringing about healing and integration, and accessing the berserker altars inside of us certainly doesn't help anything. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It kind of makes me go beast mode.
Okay, now I want to mention that when I first met Alex, he called me up asking about the Neo Cube, and he was interested in possibly getting one. And he mentioned that he suffers with a lot of anxiety and some certain unusual types of memories or experiences. I don't know, you call them dreams or something of that nature.
Yeah.
And
Kind of like if their
yeah,
memories, kind of like if I have lived them in another world. It's funny. It's
okay.
crazy.
Yeah, so it's almost like alternate states of reality. He's kind of well, I think there's some kind of post-traumatic stress or maybe some kind of flashbacks going on here. So, but
Yeah.
we can only make assumptions here. Now, a lot of people come to me and say, James, I think I might be a Milab. I think the government's experimenting on me. And a lot of these people, uh, they turn out to be schizophrenic, and it turns out they're suffering from some kind of paranoid or some paranoia or delusions. And but in your case, I did some investigating, and this is actually a remote viewer actually pulled this up. He was able to access the file that you were in, and this is what he told me. Is it okay that I read this?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Alex Diaz, you are called Bloodstreak because you are kinda clumsy and like to use blunt force weapons so that you leave behind enemies' blood, which leave a trail of blood leading right to you. You have multi-tone programming, which is a good thing. It's an upgrade. The single tone only runs off one frequency at a time. The multi-tone can run off an infinite amount, cutting lag time, so you can react more quickly without much rest. It also means you have more stamina. You usually do solo missions. He is part of a team, but I can't figure out which one. We have bumped paths before. What he needs to do is accept what is happening and look to himself for answers. He needs to know that not all people are out to get him, that he should calm his mind. I feel like he might overreact a lot. That's what I get from him. You are also very strong. You like to rip trees out of the ground and use them like a bat. But these abilities are in his avatars and not his own physical body. And I just want to mention that the way these Milabs actually work is that even though we're in this physical dimension, living our physical lives in 3D reality, our consciousness, what they can do is actually take a portion of our soul and place it into clone avatars, and then we're sent off. And either it could be U.S. Space Command, it could be time travel operations, or it could be doing off-world missions. And so it appears what's going on, Alex, is that you are being used in these exotic experimentations. And these projects are basically performed by certain reptilian and Nazi factions. And
Oh,
yeah, so this is not actually. I hate to use the word government because it's not actually our. It's not really our government. It's more like a faction that sort of has a controlling interest in our government, and they're like a government unto themselves. They operate underground bases, a network of underground bases, throughout the world. And these are actually the Nazis that were brought back from Project Paperclip, and they set up shop in underground facilities. But I mean, obviously, it'd take a long time to explain all that to our new listeners. But what the reptilians and the Nazi faction actually are doing is they're targeting individuals, human reptilian hybrids. Now, all humans actually have reptilian genetics. I believe about 20 to 30% of us are reptilian, so we're all hybrids to a certain extent. But in particular, those with more reptilian genes tend to be targeted for these experiments, and the reason why is those with reptilian genetics are stronger physically. Alex, do you feel that might be the case with you?
Yeah, I feel like I might be something related to that.
Okay, but as far as physical strength, how is your physical strength in this dimension?
In this dimension, my physical strength is phenomenal. I don't even know the measurement of my strength. Like, last 2 years, they have shot my arm off, and look at me now. I have a titanium bar in my arm, and I'm still moving it, and I'm still swimming around, you know?
Okay. So
like if there was nothing wrong with me.
So you got shot before, and they had to put a titanium implant on you?
Yeah, titanium bar to hold my arm in place.
Okay. Well, so your skin could be punctured with a bullet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so it sounds like you have maybe you have some reptilian genetics, but in this physical dimension, the super strength and abilities, it seems to be limited only to your avatar, which they're usually stored in underground facilities.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I've put you under regressions in the past many times, and this is probably where your probation officer, he probably is I mean, it is his responsibility to make sure, that is if he's really a probation officer, not your handler, but it's his responsibility to make sure that you are not going to cause any more problems. So, I'm sure he probably has investigated you, and your name has come up with mine, and the content relates to regressions that we've done in the past. Do you recall any of those regressions that we've done?
Yes, I recall many of them.
Okay. And a lot of them have to do with being taken to underground, or maybe even to like outer space platforms, just secret facilities. And apparently, you in a past life, you were a high-ranking military general or something of that nature, a caliber, and you were connected to these programs, and you didn't cooperate with the programming. I guess you sabotaged something you didn't agree with. So they exterminated that live stream, and then you were reborn as Alex Diaz.
Yeah.
Okay. You just come up with so much. Like, for instance, you said you were part of SS Alpha 61 Delta Force creation. Purpose is to kill super soldiers that interfere with what's going on around the globe. With James Rink and other friends, we can be set free. And you said your Milab dog tag number is
54631.
Yeah. Do you happen to know anything else about that number?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know much about that number, but I remember going to the dentist, and I remember seeing a number on the paper saying 54631, and I was like, wait a minute.
Okay.
Why does that sound familiar?
Okay. All right. Oh, and you were in the Air Force, Major. You said Magellan Corey Bloom Hakelford. Do you remember that?
Yeah. That's what it is. Hakelford.
And okay, so that was in your past life, perhaps. We're guessing. Maybe it was an avatar. I don't know.
I could be wrong. I'm not sure, but that's what it seems to me.
Okay. And you said during this one memory, or rather regression, you made the general angry, and then he puts you in some kind of electric death chair. They stick a needle in your spine, and it pumps a drug called Exodyne. It keeps you from passing out. Keeps you conscious while you feel pain. So it's like they torture you.
Yeah, ultimate torture.
Then you heard a drilling noise, terrible pain, and hands clenched. And then your memories were erased, and your soul leaves your body and then inserted into a clone baby inside an incubator. Okay. So, well, I mean, and it's also possible that maybe they put you through virtual reality programming scenarios. Maybe this could be virtual reality. Because I know Richard Rogers, another Milab experiencer, he says the ETs use a lot of virtual reality to make us believe certain things. But I'm not going to put any opinion on that. I'm just going to say that's certainly a possibility. All right. And so let's see here. And you also, I mean, and I put you under regression, and you've actually recalled seeing alien writing.
Yes. And I have actually drawn it and given you pictures, remember?
Yeah, and that was that glyph that you actually saw was Keban. Keban are the Greys, and the reason why the glyphs were of a very they looked very thick lines. It's because of how their eyes are positioned, so they can only see thick lines. They can't see really thin lines for some reason.
Yeah.
So your name was something that has to do with Joshua Hakelford, and that's spelled Hakelford. Now, if there was somebody out there, let's say, because my videos do get investigated by certain groups, let's say naval intelligence was to hear that, do you think they would be able to look that name up and actually find information about you? Or do you think...
I think they might.
Okay.
They might be able to.
All right.
Because it's all linked to me.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to when you were arrested, and the probation officer says he has a file on our contact. Did he happen to say anything else?
He just said that I'm hanging out with people I don't even know.
Okay. Well, what would you like to tell the audience about hanging out with me or whoever?
I would like to tell them that you helped me open my eyes, and you're a good guy. You helped me see clear.
Okay.
And I'm more positive because of that. And also that that I'm not a bad person either.
Okay. Okay.
I'm only human also.
All right. Well, are you ready to be put under regression again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So what I'm actually going to do right now is we're going to do some exploring, maybe try to find a little bit of information about when you were at Hakelford, or something to connect you to anything with Milabs. Maybe we can, and whatever we can get. So what I'd like you to do, Alex, is actually, before we do that, we're going to call upon Alex's guardian angels and guides. We ask that the universe will open up doors for Alex to allow him to have healing and integration. We ask that this issue with the probation officer and what not with the law, and that his file will be expunged, and that he will be set free, and that Alex will be able to find peace and be able to find healing and integration. And we ask that any interference from those of the dark side will not be able to harm in any way. And I'd like the audience and yourself, Alex, I want you to see a beautiful golden color around your aura. And we're going to put protection. We're going to ask your guardian angels and guides to protect you so that you no longer are targeted anymore by law enforcement. And that when they see you, they'll see somebody who is not a threat, and somebody who is trying to heal themselves and to bring their life back together. Do you agree with this, Alex?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and what you say ultimately manifests into being, and you can open your eyes because that's the law of attraction. So, actually now you can close your eyes again, so we're going to do the regression right now. Well, first of all, Alex, what I'd like you to do is to find a door that can show
you... golden door.
There, what's that?
I see like a light door right there. It's glowing.
Do you feel that you need to look in that door first?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, without putting any ego attachment or any judgment behind this door, I want you to open it up, and let's go inside. First, tell me what you see when you open the door. What's inside this room?
Like green color.
Okay, green color. All right, well, allow the room to solidify, and as the green slowly well, maybe it doesn't dissipate, but as objects start to appear in the green color.
Yeah.
What's slowly starting to appear?
I see like a spaceship right there, and it's landed on grass.
What is your association with this spaceship?
I don't know, but I think I'm a reptilian again.
Are you in a reptilian form?
Yeah, I see my claws on my fingers, all funny looking.
Are you wearing any kind of clothing?
No.
Okay, what color are you?
I'm like grayish, dark grayish.
Okay. Well, let's play forward the timeline to the next important event and what happens then.
Basically a war.
Okay. And who's at war with who?
I think the Greys and the reptilians are at war.
Okay. Do you feel that this was something that's taking place in the present time, or is this something that...
It might take place in the future.
Okay, so is this a future memory that you're experiencing?
Yeah.
Okay. And why are the reptilians at war with the Greys?
Because the reptilians want to take over the world, and the Greys, I don't know, they kind of like us. They're like, I think the Greys are more humanish, like, they can feel things, and they want to help us out.
Okay. And what is your connection to this conflict?
I think I was brought back to life in a reptilian form.
Okay, so the reptilians brought you back to life in a reptilian body.
Yeah.
Do you feel that this might be a clone avatar being, or is it...
It might be an avatar, or it might be a life, because it feels real.
So why did they choose to bring you back to life?
Because my mind is very elite.
Unique.
Powerful.
Okay, and what makes you so unique and powerful?
My soul.
Your soul. And what kind of abilities does your soul have?
My soul has abilities that have been through the timeline for a good while, and I have been through certain experience that many others haven't.
So you can change timelines, is what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we ask your soul to change a timeline for you right now?
Yes.
All right. Well, first of all, should we ask that, or should we go continue on with this memory that you're in?
Continue.
Okay, so let's continue on with this memory, and what happens next?
The humans have to live on the ground.
Okay.
Or evacuate Earth.
Okay, so the reptilians landed?
Yeah.
And the Earth is being evacuated?
Because these things are eating people.
What? Something's eating people?
These reptilian beings eat people, and people are getting hurt.
Okay. So, is it the Greys that are evacuating the planet?
The Greys are they're flying all over the world.
Okay. Do you happen to have a year when this event might be occurring?
2012.
Okay. Do you think that's on this current timeline?
It might be a little bit current ahead in the future.
Okay. Well, do you think it's going to happen in our current timeline, in our direction? Or do you think this
It might be possible, yes.
Okay. So these reptilian beings are landing, and what? So why did they bring you back or reconstitute you in a reptilian body? What are they using you for?
To lead other reptilians.
Okay. And how do you lead them?
I tell them what to do, and they have to obey.
So do you use like some kind of mind control or something?
Yes, we talk by using telepathy.
Okay, but when you say you tell them what to do, are you do they just follow your orders willingly, or are you brainwashing them?
Okay. No, they just do it.
Okay. Okay, and so what is your role in this war?
I think it's to destroy graves and humans.
Okay.
And take back our planet.
Okay, so your role is to destroy graves and humans?
Yeah.
All right. And why would you want to destroy your own people?
I don't, but they're making me do it.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to see in this particular memory of yours?
No.
Okay. Well, step back out into the hallway. What I'd like you to do is find another door that can show you some kind of insight as to how you can possibly escape from their control over you.
All right, I open this door. It's in front of me, and it's like a white color.
Okay. So
everything is white inside.
Okay. So don't put any ego attachment. Just clear your mind and slowly allow the whiteness to solidify, and you may see objects start to emerge from the mist around you, if there is mist. So what's appearing in front of you?
I feel like I'm inside a boat.
In a boat?
Yes.
Okay, and what happens in this boat?
The boat sinks.
All right. And what then?
The Titanic.
Okay. Were you on the Titanic?
Yes.
Well, how did you get on the Titanic?
It's just what I see right now.
Okay. All right. Well, and so what happened? What is your mission or job here on the Titanic?
Important people were supposed to travel across and get to places, but unfortunately something happened where the boat had to sink.
Okay. So the boat had to sink, but why does it have to sink?
For certain individuals don't complete their goals.
Okay, so if the boat didn't sink, what would have happened to our timeline?
I think we could have had great doctors and cures for diseases, and
okay,
we might have even lived happier.
Okay, but the owners, the opposition to the Federal Reserve System was on that ship. So if the Titanic didn't sink, we would have never had a Federal Reserve and an IRS. So, or perhaps if that didn't happen, maybe something else worse would have come down the road, even later down the timeline.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's certainly a different perspective on this. Okay. So, how does that help? How do you feel that this helps you find a way to break free from the programming that you're on?
I feel like I have to tell people the truth.
The truth about what?
Just that people have to stop being so ignorant.
Ignorant about what?
About life.
You mean?
Stop being so negative.
You mean not only the multidimensional aspects, but also the extraterrestrial?
Yes.
What would you tell people that think that reptilians aren't real and that it's just a hallucination?
I would tell them that they're far from right.
Okay. So this memory, so how does this help you get set free in particular? What is it that you need to do? Anything else?
I have to help certain people on the boat escape.
Okay. So your job is to get on is to help people escape from the Titanic?
certain individuals.
Oh, I see. Okay. Do you remember the names of any of these individuals?
I don't, but I get the feeling like one of their names starts with an A.
Okay.
And he's a very wealthy man.
Okay. Is it the Astor? No.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, they're very I think that was one of the Astor family was one of the ones who were in opposition to the Federal Reserve System. But I don't think he survived. But it could. I mean, it could be. I mean, there's a lot of people on there a ship with the letter A. But what do you look like in this particular mission?
I look like a Frenchman.
Okay. Do you sense that this was had something connected to do with Milabs? Do they, perhaps?
Yes.
Did they send you back?
They're using my soul over and over, inserting in other people, in other beings,
Okay.
in other lifetimes.
Well, what I actually like you to do is, okay, so you're in that body. What I want you to do is to play the timeline forward to the point where they take you back in time to the present. Can you go to that point right where they take you back?
Yeah.
Okay, and what do you see?
I see me going underground into a military base and
Okay.
being tortured again and brought back to life.
Okay. So this Frenchman type body that you were occupying was tortured, then brought back to life. And why would they kill them and bring them back to life? What's the point of that?
They killed the Frenchman, but they brought me in another physical form as a baby again.
Do you feel that this was Milabs in the present era, or is it Milabs in 1913 or whatever? I forget what year. What year did the Titanic sink? 1911 or something, or 1912?
Yeah.
Was that back then?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry.
It wasn't fully advanced yet, but it was somewhat.
Okay. So the Milab program that was going on back then, was there one going on as early as then, 1910?
It was going on for a long time.
So, but this is connected to the reptilians.
Yes.
And they have been here for who knows, hundreds of thousands of years. How long have been used by Milabs?
I can't remember how many times.
How about we go back in time prior to when you were being used, and what I'd like you to do is I want your soul to search for when you made a contract with these beings. So go back in time. It doesn't, and tell me where you are.
I think it's the 1950s.
So you go back in time to the 1950s?
Yeah.
Okay, but the 1950s was after 1910. Is there some kind of time paradox here?
Yeah.
All right, and what was your agreement that you made with Milabs?
I didn't make no agreement, but I signed a military paper, which actually did it for me.
Okay, can you read what that contract says?
I'm not supposed to read it. I'm just supposed to sign it. You won't let me read it.
Well, that doesn't matter because you're not reliving that experience. We're just reviewing it. So I want you to review what that contract says while you're watching your past self sign it. So go ahead and just read the first few, just the most important clauses that you think is relevant.
To be a specimen.
Okay, so to be a specimen, what else?
You're waiving all your rights.
You're waiving all your rights, okay.
Your life might be lost.
Your life might be lost.
You will have great benefits.
You will have great benefits.
All kinds of stuff.
Well, does it say what kind of benefits?
Benefits like being able to get a job fast and like get a little bit of money every month, make sure I have a little bit of money.
Well, tell me, how's that all working out for you now?
It's still going on.
They're still giving you a little money?
Yeah, I'm on SSI.
Okay, so you're on Social Security disability, but do you think the trade-offs for what you sign and what you're getting, do you think you got a fair deal?
No.
Do you want to break that deal?
Yes.
There's one way you could do it. What I'd like you to do is I want you to step into your past self, just walk into his body, and I want you to take over his body.
Okay.
And when they show you the piece of paper, just tell them that you refuse to sign it.
I refuse to sign it.
What happens next?
Serious.
Well, first of all, Alex, did they have you under some kind of brainwashing were they
Yes.
Were you under some kind of drugs to make you suggestible for you to sign it?
Yeah.
So they were thinking you were just going to sign it automatically.
Yeah.
So the fact that you protested was definitely out of line.
Yes, they are shocked and they execute me.
All right. What I want you to do is to take the piece of paper and rip it up into a million pieces and throw it in the general's face. Okay.
Yep.
And tell him that one day you will get your own karma. Karma's a bitch.
One day you'll get a taste of your own medicine, motherfucker.
Okay. And what happens? So tell me, what happens next?
You have to execute it, man.
They were not used to that.
And I'm just like free. I feel free now.
Okay.
So I can breathe.
So the contract is broken, and
Yeah.
what do they do to you now?
They just make me stand on a board off the boat and shoot me in the back of the head while I fall in the water.
Okay. So you were on some kind of Navy ship?
Yes.
All right. So they executed you right at the spot.
Yeah.
And what was your name in that live stream?
Josh.
Joshua?
Yeah. Hakelford.
So I guess, did we just create an alternate timeline?
Yes, you did.
All right. Because I know you've also mentioned that you were at a Hakelford before, so is that, I guess that in that alternate universe hasn't occurred, or probably won't occur. Or maybe not in this one universe. But that's okay. Don't worry. Don't put too much thought in that. I want you to ask your guardian angels and guides, has the contract been broken? And what do they say?
Good job.
All right. So are you set free now?
Yes.
Are Milabs going to still continue to harass you?
Just like that.
Okay. Well, what I want you to do now is I want you to go back out in the hallway.
Okay.
And I want you to find a room with a computer that has access to the computers in Dulce base.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to just type in the keyboard and just ask the computer what if your probation officer is connected to Milabs, and what do you get?
He's aware of them.
Okay, so he's aware, but did he become aware because of the content on the internet, or was he briefed by someone?
It was briefed by somebody.
Okay, well, do you feel his intentions to you are negative overall, or is it just neutral?
He just wants to make me look like a bad person just so he can lock me up. But my probation officer is a different person than that. He wants to help me.
Okay, so your probation officer wants to help you, but this person that's connected to Milabs, what is his connection with your probation officer?
He works next to him.
Okay. Okay, so was he positioned just to monitor you,
He's positioned to monitor everything and that goes in there.
Okay, but what I meant to say,
Especially me.
was he transferred into that department to work directly with your probation officer?
Yes.
Okay, so he's kind of like guiding him. And
As a matter of fact, his name is Cha.
Chalk?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
C-H-A.
C-H-A?
He's Asian.
He's aging?
Asian.
Oh, he's Asian. All right,
Yeah.
so this guy Cha, what is his intentions towards you? Go ahead and just pull up on the computer.
He wants to lock me up.
Okay, and what does he want to lock you up for?
Just for being a Mexican.
Okay, so he's got some racist.
Yeah.
Okay, but you said he's connected to Milabs as well.
Yeah.
Does he know he's connected to Milabs? Is he like a sleeper agent, or is he just?
Well, they put him in that position where he's at right now because he wanted to be in that position.
Okay. Well, why is Milab so interested in monitoring you in such a way, so closely, if you're not?
Because I can have a major impact in the world.
Okay. And what is it? Why don't you just type it into the computer and ask the computer what is it that you could do that could cause a lot of problems for Milabs?
I can destroy their organization, shut everything down, pretend like it was never there.
Okay. Well, how do you go about doing that?
Great.
Prayer?
Clear.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand. What was that word?
So what about it?
What?
Well.
No, you can't. You can't talk about this.
No.
Okay. Is that your programming speaking, or is that Alex?
Both.
Okay. Would it get you in trouble?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to let you go with your intuition there, and when the time comes, then we'll know what you need to do. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, why don't you put into the computer any other kind of information about myself? Can you type my name in there and see what Cha knows about me? What his interest in me is?
He knows that you're part of the alpha.
Okay.
And he knows that you're helping people out there be free. And they don't like that.
Okay. And what is it? What is his ultimate goal towards me? Or does he have
to lock people up like you? Pretend like they never existed before.
Okay, so he wants to see me locked up?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said they were on some kind of drug charges? Or is that that was just what they're upset about? Maybe just
that was what they were upset about.
Okay. What I'd like you to do is I want you to use your gift to change timelines to make sure that no matter what happens, that they will be unsuccessful at that. So go ahead and just you can maybe visualize an energy frequency coming out of your third eye and sort of...
Yeah, I think I'm destroying the Milab.
Okay. So let's just go ahead and create a lot of changes in the timeline. Let's make sure that they're not going to be successful. Do you feel that this recording will be the main thrust to change the timeline? Okay.
I'm not sure that it might help.
Okay.
Might start waking people up.
Well, if somebody from, let's say, U.S. Space Command or Naval Intelligence, a white hat in these organizations, if there's the few that are there, hears this, what would you want them to do for you if they could do anything?
Leave me alone and make me just free.
You want to be left alone. And I second that. I think a lot of us Milabs, we just want to be left alone. We want to go out and live our lives and not be harassed, drugged,
I don't want none of his money and none of that. I just want to be left alone and free.
Okay. I think that's a good suggestion there. Whether or not I'm sure they'll honor that, at least the white hats. But we've got a lot of work to do, and we're not going to be left alone until we draw a line in the sand.
Yeah.
But I think the best way to go about this is to use our own spiritual divine energies to change things, because that's something that they can't have control over, and that's what we're going to do right now. Is there anything else that we need to work on at this moment in time?
Stay in control of our atmosphere.
Well, what's wrong with our atmosphere?
A lot of people, they tend to disagree in themselves.
Okay. So, when you say disagree with themselves, what do you mean?
They stop believing in faith and everything.
Okay. So they don't believe in the law of attraction. They don't believe that their own thoughts can affect their reality.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all looking through one eye.
One eye?
Yeah.
What do you mean by one eye?
That means that they can see it, but they can't really see it until they remove the others, until they stop being ignorant and they can see the truth.
Okay, so it's that seeing as believing kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the people out there that are listening to this, who've never seen a reptilian and don't think but Milabs exist, what message would you want to give to them?
I would just want to tell them, just peace, man. I just want peace in the world, and just let's keep it cool. But just open your mind and stop being so naive.
Okay. I think that's good advice. All right. Are you able to pull up anything else on that computer in front of you? What might happen in the next?
Yes, but I'm not very good with computers.
Okay.
None of my officers are.
Well, why don't you put on go ahead and put on a telepathic helmet and just think the thought.
All right.
And tell me what you see on the screen. What's going to happen over the next 6 to 12 months on this? Let's just say
there's going to be a big explosion going to happen. I don't know where.
Okay.
It might be in Los Angeles.
Okay, so what is it going to be, a natural occurrence, or is it going to be?
Oh, it's going to be like all of kind of like a setup type of thing.
So a false.
Like 9/11.
Okay. And you think it's going to be Los Angeles?
It's going to be a place where it's very populated.
Okay. And why do you think, well, first of all, do you feel that this is a false flag, or is it some kind of terrorist act, or what?
They're gonna blame it on terrorists.
Okay, so obviously, so it's not terrorists then?
No.
Is it a false flag? Which basically means an inside job?
Yes. To reduce population and all that stuff.
Okay, and why do you think they're going to do this?
So they can keep people in control.
Okay. Well, do you think it's going to work?
No, sir.
So it's going to push people further away?
Yes.
Okay.
At least the small ones that I know.
Well, what does it ultimately lead to? Like, say, 3 or 4 years down the road?
Armageddon.
Okay. So this is obviously a timeline that things fall apart.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any timelines where things actually get better for us?
I see everybody not using computers anymore and just like being one with themselves and peace.
Okay, so in that timeline, all electronics break down and cease to work.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's pretty much our choice, either a timeline where we have no technology and live at with nature, or a
Yeah.
timeline where we have Armageddon.
Both.
Oh, both. Okay.
I can see both of them happening.
Okay. Well, is there a timeline where we can have some kind of sweep in the government that'll clean up all the negative factions and we can return back to balance without having all our technology destroyed?
We're gonna have to do an insight job.
So there isn't any timelines where that happens?
Not no testing.
Okay. So you still think the power is all going to go out on December 21st, 2012?
I have a very good feeling in mind.
And is that a yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. And supposedly it's going to stay off for about 3 days, but does the power ever come back on?
Yes.
Okay, after 3 days it comes back on?
Wait a minute. I think it might be like a month or two.
Okay. So during that month or so, do people get set free?
Yes.
And does that stop the powers that be, the Dark Cabal, from? I mean, when the power comes back on, do they resume their power control over us?
Well, basically, it just leads people to fend for themselves.
Okay. So when the power goes out for this 2-month period, people have to work together to survive.
Yes.
Okay. And but when the power comes back on, the same government structure is no longer in place.
They're gonna want to put a chip in everybody's palm.
Oh, okay. So they're going to try to do their New World Order business.
Yes.
But how does that go? Do the people line up to get the chip and get food, or do they all rebel?
It's like a flu vaccine.
Okay. Well, what do most...
Like, we're not even going to know. They're going to insert it on babies' hands right as soon as they're born.
Okay.
And
well, they're probably already doing that, Alex.
Oh, man.
So yeah, you shouldn't get your vaccines, but as far as in that future timeline, do people ultimately stop believing anything the government says, like it was?
Yes, they stop believing in God.
God? Did you say God?
Yeah.
Why did they stop believing in God?
Because everything is so negative.
Okay. Of course, ultimately, God is you and I and everyone else. It's what we manifest in our own reality. So if they want something that isn't negative, they should just ask the universe to manifest positive.
Yeah.
Well, let's do that right now. I want you to use your abilities and let's manifest a positive timeline where we don't have martial law or civil war or any of these terrorist attacks. Let's go on a timeline where we can have abundance and prosperity, and maybe it doesn't have to be the current system we know as money. It could be a simple barter.
I don't know why, but I keep on hearing Adam and Eve.
The Garden of Eden?
Yes.
We ask that Alex, myself, and all those who are participating will be able to go on a timeline where the Garden of Eden will be restored on planet Earth, and it will be one where we'll have all our amazing psychic gifts, instant manifestation, just like in the fifth dimension, where heaven manifests on Earth. How's that?
Yeah. Great.
Okay, so that's that pretty much settles it there. Before we conclude this, what I'd like you to actually do is, can you what I'd like you to do is go back in the hallway, and I want you to find a door that will connect you with your reptilian family, star family.
Okay, the door is dark. I'm opening it.
Okay.
Here we go.
And I want you to ask them if they have any kind of message they wish to share with the listeners. Well, first of all, do you see any? Do you see them?
Yes, I see them.
What do they look like?
They're kind of tall,
How tall?
and I would say like about 10 feet,
Okay.
8 feet, 7, 12 feet,
Okay.
15.
Okay, and what color is their skin, or their skin?
All different kinds of reptilian colors.
Oh,
Some have spots, some have stripes.
okay.
Kind of like dinosaurs.
Okay. Do you get a positive feeling from them? Are they?
No, just all negative. They're so negative and aggressive.
You don't have any positive family members?
Yeah.
Can't you find at least one of your family members that's positive?
Yeah, I see a female.
Okay, well, ask her if she's willing to share a message with us.
Are you willing to share a message with us? Yes.
What did she say?
So you can believe you can achieve.
Anything you believe you can achieve?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Stay strong.
Stay strong. Were you able to hear the sound that they make?
No, they just like talk with their mind.
Telepathy. Can you hear what the language they speak?
Yeah.
Can you say that out loud?
You want me to talk like them?
Yeah. Just go ahead and talk in the language that they use. And what does that mean in English?
The reptilians are coming to Earth.
I'm sorry, Alex. Could you please repeat that?
That they're coming to Earth.
They're coming to Earth?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully they're not going to come to Earth to eat us. Maybe they can grow some cloned cows or something and eat them. Okay, Alex.
Scary.
What's that?
Kind of scary. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, tell her. Did she have a name?
Haryashina.
Yeah. What's her name?
Haryashina.
Ariashina?
Haryashina.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Hari Nashina.
Haryashina.
yeah, that. Thank you. All right, Alex. Bid your family farewell and send them some love and light. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Oh, and can you tell them that I don't know if they're going to listen to you. That it's going to be really that it's going to be a really bad idea if they decide to come down here and eat people.
Okay, I'll tell them. It's gonna be a bad idea, you know. They said that it's not their choice. They're still gonna do it because they're working with, I think, the government and I don't know, Nazi something.
Okay. Can you ask them if they get their directions, their orders from Orion Prime?
Some of them have different ones.
Okay. Well, this is something I think is going to take some more work. I don't know if there's much we can do. Obviously, they got their mindset and what they want to do, but well, let's just leave it at that. So come back into the hallway. Is there anything else that we need to explore?
You know, I'm kind of tired already.
I understand. All right, so let's come back to your body now.
Wow.
Welcome back. Thanks, Alex.
For sure.
I hope I helped you out with something. I think we learned a lot here today.
I think you helped me out a lot, man. I don't know why, but it feels like you helped me out a lot.
Okay. Well, did you get new memories back?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Well, what's good to know that the issue with the probation thing is not as bad as you think it is. And you always have your guardian angels and guides looking out for you, and you can always use the law of attraction to change your own reality. So, nothing to be concerned about there. Just, but you may want to meditate and ask your star family to. I think you're just going to have to send them love and light energy and let them see a reason. Let them see something in you that they don't have that they can have. Because they obviously don't have to follow the agenda that's been given to them. They can do their own thing.
Yeah.
But that's all we can do for now. All right. Anything else, Alex? Are we done?
That's all.
We're done?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have a good night.
All right, then. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.